Hi, I'm Shunsuke Ochiai, and this is World Insight Interview. We have Hilary joining us for the interview today, and her villa in Ito is selected as one of the 11 top-rated Airbnbs in Japan. So welcome, Hilary. Hello.
Hi, it's so nice
Hi.
to see you.
Yeah, nice to talk to you. Yeah, first of all, we would like to start this interview by your journey. How did it start? What made you come to Japan in first place?
Hmm. Yes, so I'm originally from California, but had been living in New York City. And my husband and I wanted to travel a bit, and we were looking to sort of explore the world. And we landed in Shanghai first, but then I saw the opportunity to come to Japan. And it's a place that, we had traveled a lot and had really enjoyed. And once I saw my position come up, in Japan, I worked really hard to get it and moved here a few years ago and have just loved every minute of it ever since.
Yeah, so when was this? This was before COVID and everything like that happened, right?
Before COVID, so late 2017.
Hmm, 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 hmm. Do you recall what was the move like? Did you have a struggle finding places, place to live and stuff like that?
I was really fortunate that my employer gave a lot of support and really helped us find a great apartment. Living in Nakameguro, which is really central and just super fun neighborhood. I love to go out in Nakameguro. Even after 6 years of living here, it's still super fun. Amazing access to the rest of Tokyo and other parts of Japan. And yeah, just settling in. There's always a few bumps in the road, but luckily people were really kind and really helped us to feel at home. And it does feel like home actually at this point.
Right, right. Nakameguro is like in middle of Meguro and Shibuya. So yeah, you can walk to Nakameguro from Shibuya.
Yes, exactly. I actually right now sometimes walk. I'm studying Japanese language, and my class is in Shibuya. I go 5 days a week, and yeah, and I can walk to Shibuya from Nakameguro, and it's quite a nice walk uphill, but still a nice walk.
Hmm. Was there any cultural differences you have experienced living
Mm.
in Tokyo?
I think the challenge is that I was working in an all English language environment for my professional life. And so I think you can fall into the situation where you can get by without learning Japanese. And especially if your professional life is all in a different language. And so, one thing that was a struggle for me is that I really did want to try and connect more with people and culture. And I wasn't quite able to give the time to language study that I wanted to. At the same time, like I said, I was fortunate with friends and supports, and so the struggle was almost more internal. Like I wasn't quite doing the thing that I wanted to do in terms of connecting with Japan. Um, but I got by.
Great. And yeah, you have Airbnb now. You're in a in a town called Ito, which is a beach town, I think. Yeah, could you tell us about your Airbnb? It's selected as like one of the 11 top-rated Airbnbs in Japan. So, could you tell us
Yeah,
about that?
of course. Thanks so much. Yes, so this all kind of came about with a friend. I have a great friend and business partner here, and we were connected by mutual friends. We both had, a love of Japan, a love of hospitality, and a desire to really sort of create a place that would connect people with an experience that might be. Initially we were we both live in Tokyo. We love Tokyo, but then we realized that there's amazing opportunities to connect people with places outside of the areas that people tend to visit, especially on their first trips. A lot of people like to go to Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, a few other places. And we really wanted to, we had some incredible experiences traveling in Japan, and just, love the experience of being in the countryside, and how friendly and warm the people are, and just how much there is to see outside of those kind of heavily visited areas. So it was right actually in 2020. We were on a trip to a ryokan that we found to be really inspiring, and we were like, we want to do something similar, and we decided to just start small. And the town of Ito, it's really easy to get to from Tokyo. You can take the Shinkansen and then just a local train, a few more stops, be door to door within a couple hours. But you're right. What we fell in love with Ito was it's a beach town, it's an onsen town, and it's just got this really kind of retro seaside atmosphere. Lots of architecture from the Showa era, and it's full of like really, really fun and warm and interesting people, plus just access to everything. I mean, if you think about its location just right at the beginning of the Izu Peninsula, you have access to the closest white sand beaches to Tokyo. You have access to mountains, hikes, onsen, amazing seafood, amazing nature, and just incredibly warm and friendly people. So yeah, fell in love with Ito, and we went down to look at a few houses, saw a couple, and there was one that we were kind of saving for last because we thought we were going to fall in love with it, and we showed up and we loved it. And we bought it, and this was during obviously it was 2020, late 2020, so it was a quiet time, and we had just a lot of opportunity to renovate it and think very thoughtfully about the type of experience we wanted to create for people. It's a traditional Japanese house, and we wanted to make that experience, honor the tradition and make it accessible and feel comfortable and contemporary at the same time.
Wow, great. You did a really great job renovating it. It's like very hip, but it does have that old school Japanese essence as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, thank you so much. That's so kind. Yeah, we just the renovation process. It was one of it was a quiet time in life, but it was also one of the most fun times in my life where I just got to spend so much time with my business partner Blake, learning about the just really traditional materials and sort of the right way to do things. But like you said, with a little bit of our personality in there as well.
Great. And yeah, you've been also traveling quite a bit in Japan. I see your Instagram all the time. You've been going to skiing, onsen, and yeah, what were your favorite places so far?
Yes, so that's absolutely love traveling in Japan. I feel again so fortunate that I've been able to be here and explore so many places. I think I've been to and I think stayed in more than 40 prefectures. So yeah, so I really am an advocate for seeing places that you might not find initially, and kind of trying to dig a little deeper and use resources to and when I say you, I just mean sort of like if you're sort of just learning about travel in Japan, that's a little bit what I mean, where like I really want to kind of get out there, and I can say that everywhere I go has something absolutely fascinating, whether it's art or culture or cuisine. But I think some of my favorite places, I really, really love traveling in Kyushu. Yeah, it's again got, I mean, just like everywhere, but just really nice mix of like coast and, wonderful food, warm people. But yeah, Fukuoka is one of my favorite cities. I think a Kyushu road trip is something that everybody should do, or a train trip. There's great train travel there as well, just like most of Japan. But yeah, recently, so I mean, it's really nice. In the summers, try and spend a lot of time in the coast, down in Izu, Ito, Atami. I love Atami, and that's another great area that I'm super interested in. And then in the winters, I love to spend time skiing and I snowboard, my husband skis, but in Nagano. So we spend a lot of time. There's a few resorts that we really love to go to, but really want to just explore and kind of spread the interest across the entire Nagano and Niigata region. But just, yeah, again, like snowboarding in the morning, onsen, lunch on the mountain, onsen in the afternoon, dinner in town, or cooking at home. I mean, it's, just incredible experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I have like several people coming in all the time from America, all over the places in the world. And one thing that they get like kind of intimidated is getting into onsen, with strangers, How was that
Yes.
experience?
Yes, I mean, I can understand that it can be a little intimidating at first, and it's an experience that I've really grown to love. And I think the most important thing is maybe before you head into your first onsen, do a little bit of research and just try and figure out, sort of what are the firm, rules, because I really, especially in some of the smaller towns, like we like to go to Nozawa Onsen, which is famous for having about a dozen free public onsen, and also a really strong local culture. And so I really want to be aware and respectful of the locals who visit these places every day, and it's part of their daily lives. So I would say just doing a little bit of research about, sort of what's step one, step two, what are the absolute, do not do's, like don't put your hair in the water. um you know but there's a protocol, but I think after the first or second time, it just becomes second nature. It just becomes part of life in Japan. And I recommend it to everybody. A little intimidating, but even if you make a mistake, it's okay. Just remember for next time.
Okay. Yes. And also we want to talk about the cuisine. Yeah, what's your favorite, dish in Japan that you want to recommend?
Sure. I find this to be the hardest question because I love the food here. And I just love experiencing as much variation in cuisine as I possibly can. I guess I'll mention a couple different things. Just one kind of casual thing is like a little bit of home cooking, and almost even a little bit of Japanese, maybe soul food. I really love oyakodon.
Oh, yeah.
Oyakodon,
Okay.
one of my favorite dishes. And then, Japan's famous for incredible seafood, and I really, really enjoy seafood in Japan. Recently, we went up to, just last month, went up to Kanazawa on the northern coast, and went to the seafood market and had just an incredible time sampling all the wonderful, rich winter
Mm.
seafood. Just absolutely delicious.
Yes. There are, people around the world are kind of scared to eat the seafood from Japan
Hmm.
because of the radioactive and stuff like that. But what's your take on that?
Yeah. So, when I was sort of following everything that was happening, and just reading about it, and especially what sort of national and international health organizations said, and I felt really reassured by everything that I read, and also just everybody around me, all sort of my Japanese friends, and just everybody, sort of while you're traveling and in different places, just really enjoying the seafood. So I feel really safe eating seafood here. It hasn't, this hasn't changed anything about the way that I approach it. And most people I know, pretty much actually everybody I know, feels the same way. And so definitely would say, please come experience and, enjoy the incredible seafood from Japan, because it's
Yeah.
it's really the best in the world. It's so amazing.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and I think that'll wrap it up. And yeah, thank you, Hillary, and keep enjoying Japan. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks so much. It's great to talk to you today.
Thank you.